The Department of Children and Families says more than 162,000 kids are in regulated childcare in Wisconsin, but there are only 4,500 regulated providers. Those providers support a Governor Evers bill that would put some state surplus money toward their businesses. For them, it's the only way to fix an industry that's been on life support for decades. Ken Kowzarowski has the story.
27-year-old Josie Wermager runs a child care center out of her home in rural Rockland.
My nephews came around when I was 15, and then I just loved watching him grow up, so then it just gave me the love for kids.
She hadn't planned on running her own center 2 years ago, but she basically had no choice. The child care center she was taking her kids to couldn't hold on to staff.
We lost child care for my youngest daughter and my oldest, and I needed to go back to school, so I'm like, well, I guess if I don't have child care, I'm going to open up at home.
Josie and her husband put thousands of dollars into remodeling their house and backyard to get officially licensed with the Department of Public Instruction. The license allows them to care for 8 kids between newborn and 8 years old.
6:30 in the morning till 5:30 at night.
Since child care counts began, the state reports most providers have used the direct payments to raise staff wages or, in Josie's case, cover operating expenses.
It's going to be a lot more of a challenge without counts around, because that was a way to get new supplies. Like, I bought a lot of my supplies from Facebook or other daycares that went out of business.
But the federal money is almost gone. The program cut payments in half a few weeks ago to buy providers some more time. But Josie still had to make a tough decision.
I ended up having to raise my rates, not by a lot, but just a little bit to kind of offset the weight.
Senate Republicans on Wednesday asked providers why it's a bad thing to raise their rates if demand is so high. Providers told them simple economics won't work here.
Everything now these days costs more to live than it did 20, 30 years ago. So that's where you kind of need both parents to work. I paid for childcare for a while working, and I didn't bring much home because half my check went to daycare. We don't want to harm families by raising our rates. We want to keep them somewhat financially stable for families and the providers.
It's a hard balance to strike. And that's why Democrats say child care counts payments made it easier for providers to raise wages and still keep rates affordable.
If we actually valued care work in terms of the benefit that it provides to the economy, childcare workers would be some of the best paid workers out there.
So if the program dies, providers and Democrats agree that the economy will feel the pain.
Everyone's going to start struggling more than what they already do now for workers. Because how are you going to get all these workers that you're looking for even right now when you can't find childcare to watch your child?
Every childcare provider is enabling 5, 10, 20 other people to be in the workforce. We'll never, ever get a do-over on keeping these providers' doors open.
Josie's business has not been eligible for most child care grants through La Crosse until now. She said she's been approved for an unknown amount from the county's ARPA dollars. Josie said she'll use that grant to grow the number of kids she can care for.